Back with another Savage stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in and liking, sharing, commenting on my videos and subscribing to my channel. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for that. We passed 5,000 subs. We still have to do a giveaway of some sort. Me and Dan the Dane are talking about it. It was possible to do it tonight, but we're kind of in some time constraints and I have a massive headache. And I'm like so sore. I worked out for the first time in a while yesterday morning, and then I had to work in the yard and do it. Yeah, it was. I'm kind of miserable right now, so it's kind of a wonder that I'm even here. I was on the fence, you know. I was really close to saying no stream tonight, but I got to do it. On 4/20. It's the 20th of the month, so we have to do the breakdown of the previous month. So it was pretty important. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And this video is, you know, like if you ever wonder about what you could expect, and it's kind of funny because we kind of did this last night too. We did the previous week's Ravencoin mining profits, and then tonight we're doing the monthly profits for the shared rigs. But if you were, you know, ever wondering basically what kind of profits you can expect through mining crypto, then this kind of video should help, along with last night's video as well. It might give you some insight into what to expect. However, keep in mind that right now we are in an extreme bull market especially on the mining profit side due to Ethereum. Okay, so Ethereum is so much more profitable right now than any other project. It's kind of crazy, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm gonna check the chat real quick, make sure that the sound is good, video quality is good. Hopefully everything is going good over there. Thanks Chan Coin and Crypto Mikkel and Dan the Dane for moderating over there. Much appreciated. Maybe answer some questions. I see a couple of questions in there. Maybe answer some of those. Much appreciated. I'm going to get into the actual content. So point being, don't expect these types of profits, especially on the Ethereum side, for, you know, to go on forever. Forewarned is forearmed. So if you have the information that, hey, I might not want to base my future on what I'm seeing right now because this is a little bit inflated. There's things going on that are causing the profits to be higher than normal, you know, even than what we're used to, you know, and this has gone on for like an extended period of time. So just keep that in mind. You can't always expect it to be like this. So if you go over here to what to mine, I've got the rigs broken down. Basically Dagobah and Mustafar are the two that we have shared GPUs, or basically it's like a GPU hosting deal. These are shared co-owned rigs, however you want to call them. Basically, long story short, I don't own these outright. Okay, these are owned by multiple people. And if you look at Dagobah, it's 8 RX 580s. So we come in here, we do a calculate. I already have my cost in here for kilowatt hour, which is super important whenever you're crypto mining. You need to know what your cost per kilowatt hour is, and you need to use that in your calculations, especially as you start scaling up, because it becomes more and more a portion of your operating expenses, so on and so forth. If you got one rig, you know, even if it's 6 GPUs, you might not really see it that much, you know, depending on where it's at and how much heat it's producing and how you do your AC, you know, in your house or wherever you're at. You might not see one rig, but as you start scaling up and getting more rigs and more GPUs, you will start seeing it for sure on your electric. So if you don't have and I'll show you how to like monitor your electric. I've got some smart plugs and stuff like that I use for monitoring the electric every month. But anyway, so you're looking right here and you see Ethereum. At this point, mining Ethereum would outright, just straight Ethereum, would be more profitable on this rig, but there are some operational reasons that I go ahead and still, for right now, we're still on ETH, or we're still on NiceHash. And then we're going to go over that. I'll show you basically why, in a way, why I am still on NiceHash, and it has to do with the withdrawals and getting the payouts to the people. Now, if this was my rig outright, then I would just be mining Ethereum. There's no doubt about that. So anyway, so we'll keep pressing on here. It is cool to see that there are some other projects that are sneaking up here, you know, like Ravencoin, Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic value's gone up a lot. Haven is doing well, Beam's doing well. So there are some projects, and it's looking like, in my opinion anyway, whenever Ethereum does go to proof of stake, or maybe even after EIP 1559, we might see, I think we're going to see a lot of people go to Raven. Just my opinion, but it seems like that's the go-to. I was kind of thinking Ethereum Classic might pull up, but it's really looking like Raven might be the one. And again, all that depends on whether or not the profit or the value, the USD value goes up enough to compensate properly and all that stuff. And then, of course, as more miners are added, you might see, especially if it's sudden, you're going to see a decrease in rewards, because of the difficulty increase and all that. Then also, Raven has a halving coming up. Remember, in January of sometime in January of next year, in 2022, this block reward is going to go from 5,000 to 2,500. So, typically, if you look at the way that affects other projects like Bitcoin, we could see, hopefully, see a solid rise in value of Ravencoin. And probably going to do some more Ravencoin content, as obviously from here on out I'm going to do more, not obviously, but I plan on doing more Ravencoin content. We'll see how that goes. And we're already working on a bunch of stuff already, with Ravencoin, with Pocket Change business and token STOs and security token offerings and all that stuff. So we are going to continue that scenario and talk about all the ins and outs of Ravencoin. So anyway, I'm not going to turn this into a Ravencoin stream, but just know that we're on NiceHash on these two rigs, and if they were my rigs, I would probably be on Ethereum. But this works out better for our organization here. But it is cool to see these other projects sneaking up there and being, a lot more profitable than they were, like, say, a year ago. Even when Ethereum was profitable, clearly not this profitable, but even whenever Ethereum was that profitable, these weren't even close. So it's cool. They were nowhere near this value, right? So it's kind of cool to see that that possibility of even after Ethereum goes proof of stake or EIP 1559, could this stay at that level? Probably, or higher. That's kind of a good thing. It's a good outlook for crypto mining. We're seeing on the channel here, we're seeing a lot, and on all the channels and in the forums and social media, we're seeing a lot of new miners in the space, and going over, these little details about, your power, how profitability works, and how to calculate profitability. All that can pay off really big when things are green and going up like they are right now. When there's like a really narrow profitability margin, all this stuff becomes even more important. Right now, it's like, sunshine and rainbows all the time, and you just got, all you basically have to do is build a rig, turn it on, and you're profitable. And we kind of prove that with the Kajimi rig, because Kajimi has 4-year-old GPUs, P10690s that we talked about last night, and that rig is already paid for, and that was only like 6 months of mining, so, and that's mining Raven. Okay, so we were mining Raven and ETC. We should have probably kept it on ETC, because we would have broke even on the rig a lot sooner. But anyway, because ETC has gone crazy with profitability lately. But yeah, it's lucky for us that there's pretty wide margin between profitability and being in the red. This month, again, this is like the 4th or 5th month in a row that it's been like this. It's been pretty easy as far as making profits. And if you're in the space, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's, unless you're paying a huge amount for electric, pretty much anything that you're turning on right now is going to be profitable. But before we get started into all the details, if you're looking to stay up to date on promising proof of work crypto projects, I talk about Ravencoin and some others, and Aeon and Ethereum and all those kinds of cool things. If you're looking to stay up to date on those, networking how-tos and some troubleshooting, I do some tours of networking here at the house, and I've done some content on that as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel here and click the notification bell. like this video, share this video, and leave a comment down below letting me know what projects you are mining or are interested in, or some type of video that you might want to see from me. I've got a couple in the queue. You know, there's some things I got to work on. The problem is finding time to research the things that people are asking about. So just give me a little bit of time. I'll figure it out. You know, I have a full-time job plus this, so sometimes time is not too plentiful. All right, so let's get to this breakdown. If we look at NiceHash, this is the dashboard for NiceHash, and this is for, I do have the rigs separated out because in NiceHash you can actually do different organizations. So I basically have each rig broken down into their own organization. So this is the Mustafar rig. They're both RX 580 rigs, 8X RX 580, so 8 GPUs. And this one is Mustafar, and then you got Dagobah over here. So these are the two rigs, and we're going to do the withdrawal and all that stuff, so I can show you how that stuff works. But yeah, we started this June. We started NiceHash on June 19th of last year. We changed over to NiceHash. So this is actually like that would make it what, the 10th month, I believe, that we've been on NiceHash. And these past few months has been pretty nice. Before that, we were mining CCX or Conceal pretty much at a loss almost every month. But hopefully, if things turn around in the future for Conceal, and they are looking pretty good right now, then the value, you know, that might have, in the end, all that time we spent, basically a year mining Conceal, might pay off, right? If their value goes up enough. So as far as what the rigs look like, this is Dagobah here, the one that gives me all the problems, because this is gigabyte cards, and the fans on these things are really awful, and they just they go bad all the time. So this is their RX5 gigabyte ARS, however you say that, RX 580s from about 3.5 years ago, something like that. Desktop PSU, server PSU. Definitely need to get in there and do some cable management. Don't hit me up too much about that. But the reason I haven't, and I've explained this before, is simply because of profitability. I just don't want any downtime at all, you know. And if I turn it off to do the cable management, I've tried to do live cable management. That doesn't work out very well if you need to unhook something. So this is the Mustafar rig, and again 8X RX 580, but it is the ASRock Phantom Gaming X RX 580s. This one has a little bit better cable management, not anything too special. That top rig there is Kajimi. That's the one that's dedicated to Raven right now. Yeah, I'm normally recognized as having some pretty decent cable management, but since the profitability is so good, I get it up and running and then I leave it. So if things, you know, if I get like a power outage or something like that, maybe like an extended electric outage for whatever reason, maybe I'll do some cable management then. But right now they're staying on. That's just the way it is. So let me turn that off here. All right, so let's see. Checking my notes. We did have we had some pretty good uptime, although you can see that Mustafar here is only up for 8 days. Straight. Dagobah was down for 2 days. There was a problem. I think I did a video on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Where I did like 2 days. Now this is not. Whenever I say 2 days, I mean I spent 2 days, some time, some hours, some minutes of 2 days straight looking at it. Doesn't mean I was, 48 hours of troubleshooting. Okay, but whenever I did get a chance to look at it, and it ended up being, so the symptom was, the miner would start, everything would be fine. I had a monitor on it, attached to the rig so I could see what was going on. It would start, the miner would start on the screen, the actual miner, and at some point during that startup it would fail, and it was throwing like kernel panic errors, like kernel panic and stuff like that, and no resource online helped me with it very much, because it was basically like a Linux common Linux error, which really doesn't help me in my case, because it seemed to be more than just the operating system. I tried, re-imaging, all that cool stuff. Turns out that it ended up being, there was something wrong with the actual rig in HiveOS, like that object on their system, on their side, on the HiveOS dashboard side, that I had to delete the rig from HiveOS. So I had to delete it from like right here, do the whole click and delete, get rid of it, and recreate it from scratch before it would start mining again. Now, it was kind of a crazy problem, and I got some great feedback from users that had experienced something similar, and well, actually there was one person that it was happening to right then, and they were like so thankful that I showed them what I did to fix it. I guess that the different symptoms could be all kinds of different things, but that was my specific symptom for that. Yeah, just had to delete the rig. So in the future, if I'm seeing really weird things with a rig, I'm going to go straight to here, basically start the rig like it was a brand new rig. Now, you lose all your data whenever you do that, like all your history, but it would beat missing 2 days of profitability at this point. So it is what it is. All right, so some things that we have to look at for Ethereum, the hash rate. It actually, I'm going to highlight this last little section here. It actually had decreased a little bit. Now, this is always a weird chart to look at because it's all averaged out and stuff, but it's still, if you look overall, if you reset the zoom here, it is still at essentially an all-time high, right? And so this is something we have to keep an eye on. Now, obviously, we look at the profitability over here on what to mine, and it kind of guides us in the right direction. But this is something we need to watch as well. And the difficulty, same thing, pretty much mirrors hash rate for the most part. And except for whenever they implement different difficulty adjustments like this right here. But the transaction fee chart, this is something we have to keep an eye on too. Right now, they're really high. I mean, if you go over here, look at what we are paying. Where's that at? Right here. Yeah, it's like 154 GWei for a standard transaction. Pretty high. I think it was like in the low teens last year. So yeah, that's a huge increase. But those are the kind of things that we have to keep an eye on for Ethereum and the profitability. There's also potentially there's an Antminer E9 that's being produced or supposedly going to be produced by Bitmain, and there's not a lot of details on what it does. I think it was equal to 30 something 3060s, I believe. I can't remember the number, but it was a lot. And as far as the hash rate and power consumption, so obviously with every every subsequent family of ASICs, they're going to be more efficient, because otherwise, why would they make it? So you're going to look at lower power consumption, higher hash rate kind of thing. This is, I mean, in my opinion, this is super risky for Bitmain to come out with this. My other opinion is that they already have them and they've just been using them and mining with them. But that's one of those things that no one really knows. There's been some evidence of it, but like people getting an ASIC that has dust and cobwebs inside of it and stuff like that. Clearly been run. I think that has happened a few times, but it's one of those things where if it's more profitable to just turn the thing on, then why would you sell it? Right? If you've got the capacity. Now, this is something that people don't take into account. I know I'm getting on a tangent here, but one thing that you have to take and consider whenever you think along those lines of, if it's more profitable to turn it on, then why would you sell it? Well, what if you don't have the capacity, the power capacity? What if your facility doesn't have enough power to support it? Then at that point, it makes more sense to sell it, right? If it's going to sit in a box, if it's going to sit somewhere in a storage and not be turned on because you don't have the power to support it, then by all means, sell it, But that's kind of my point on that. So anyway, all right, I'm going to get rid of this. I know I'm going on total tangents here, but that's sometimes fun, right? All right, so here are the rigs, the two rigs, Dagobah and Mustafar. These are the two that we're messing with. I'm not really going to go into the hardware too much, other than just show you basically what they are. So if I go over here, right down here, this is Mustafar over here. pretty much they're the same exact hardware except for the GPUs. You can see the bold items at the bottom here. Pretty much everything is the same across the board. Pentium G4400, H110 Pro, BTC Plus, you know, the whole deal. Pretty much everything's the same. I think I do have a different power supply on Dagobah now. I think I took out, I'd have to look again. I'm pretty sure I threw in a higher power desktop PSU because of overstressing that 1200 watt server PSU, and that thing was screaming and it was always so loud. And then come to find out, it was just, I was pushing it way too hard. It was pushing out like 1150 volts and watts, and it's, you know, whenever you're on, even if you're on 240 like I am, it should have only been about 900 at the max, and I was really pushing that thing hard, and it was like that for a lot of months. So eventually it gave way and burned up the breakout board and stuff like that. So I had to put a different power supply in there. But anyway, so we look at the breakdown of who invested what percentage, right? So we use this breakout for profits. So we'll throw the profits right here for the different rigs. They each have their own, because not the same people other than me and one other person own both, right? So like me and owner one here own a portion of Mustafar, and then only me and owner one own Dagobah. So we have to kind of separate it out, because otherwise it wouldn't be, and you know, it's different rigs, so it wouldn't be totally fair to just go right 50-50, you know, percent. We did do that for a while, but I saw it as kind of a problem, especially in months like this where one of the rigs is down for a couple of days, right? So these folks over here didn't invest in Dagobah at all. But Dagobah, why would Dagobah's profitability affect these people? You see what I'm saying? So that's why we kind of split it up like that. And if you're wondering, I'm not looking at chat, guys. So, hey, what's up, Red Panda? I will look for a second, though. See, y'all are going to get me all distracted over here. All right, cool. Looks like, yeah, on what you were saying there, 56, yeah, with those new, but again, as far as the hash rate and difficulty and stuff, I think that those miners, those E9s might already be online, right? Who knows, right? It might be already included in this. So I'm not really worried about that miner, you know, causing any havoc on the network. It's probably already here, is my point. But I don't know. Who knows? All right. So we're going to go over here. So that's the hardware. Showed you that. Now we just basically have to do the withdrawals. I think that's where we're at. Let me check my notes over here. Oh, yeah. Forgot about all this stuff here. So this is the GPU in Dagobah. This is the one that we're using. The Gigabyte Aorus Radeon RX 580. And then in Mustafar, it's this one. Now these are super flimsy. Like, the quality of these GPUs is pretty awful. Quality control and sturdiness and all that stuff, it feels super cheap. But I'm telling you, these things are just beasts whenever it comes to mining, because I've never had to replace a fan, nothing. I turn this rig on and it just starts mining and there's no problem. Dagobah, these GPUs, not so much. I'm replacing these fans all the time, and this rig is problematic. It's down some. It's you know, yeah, this thing's a mess. This one, great, no problem at all. All right, so let's do some calculations here. I know I'm running long here. What we need to do is we'll start with Dagobah, and we're going to do a withdrawal. Okay, so we're going to go. We see right here that we've got 650. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm trying to go too fast. All right, let's go back to the spreadsheet. So we have to go to here. We have to go to monthly report, and we're going to plug in our data here. So we're going to go with Dagobah, and we're going to look up how much we mine in 30 days. All right, so we have to go back to the dashboard here. Let's see. Right here would be the amount, because we cash this out every month on the 20th so we actually get this out of here. I'm going to copy this. This is how much we have in the wallet right at the moment. That's how much we mined in a month on an RX 580 rig. That's kind of crazy. So throw this in here, values only. Then we have to also, and we can kind of quickly compare it to what we did last month. And again, this rig was down for a couple days, so that you're going to see a pretty big difference between what Dagobah made and Mustafar made, right? So now we need to get the value of Bitcoin. We're going to go to CoinGecko for that, do a refresh. I don't even know what's going on in the market today. So it's been a good day for me, not knowing what's going on. All right, let's see here. Plug that value in here. There's that. So it looks like this calculation is saying 660. So if we check that against what's in the wallet, pretty close, 657 over here. Okay, great. So we're not like way off. Now we have to figure out the power. That's the key to the whole thing, right? Let's see here. So I've got this app. This is Casa. I'll show you what this is all about in just a moment. But we have to figure out how much power we use, the consumption for the month. And the way that this rig is broken down, we're on Dagobah, right? So there's there's a server PSU and then the main desktop PSU, the main, the regular PSU. So we'll do this one first because that's PSU 1. So we're going to go into that one. And then we're going to go to down here. It says energy. We're going to click on that. And it's going to show us, we got the current power here, what it's currently drawing at the wall. And then down here at the bottom right, we've got the total consumption for 30 days. See, it says past 30 days right here. So right there, 208 is what we're going to plug in there. Right, so we're going to go back over here, plug in 208, not 2085, 208. All right, so that's good so far. Then we need to find out, because there's one energy monitoring plug on each PSU, right? And I had to do it this way because, the way the powers ran. So in order for me to figure this out, and the reason I do it this way is to get really precise with the power. Could you just fire up the rig and say, okay, find out off of kilowatt or whatever what the total power draw is, mining whatever you are at the moment? Sure, you could do that, and then multiply that times the number of days that it was up. But this gets really down in the weeds and really precise with the consumption and all that, based on the past 30 days, which is important whenever you are hosting rigs kind of like I am, right? So this is the way that this works. See if it'll stay there. Maybe not. There we go. So 648 is what we'll have to put in there for the server PSU. So we're going to go 648 here. Total of 856, and if you compare that to previous months, you can see it's a little bit less, but remember this rig was offline for a couple of days. So that's what we're looking at here. So it looks like the total cost was $88 for electric, and that's based on 10.3 cents per kilowatt hour, which is my power cost. The total coins that I'll be paid for, out of the profits for reimbursement of the power is right here. So the net profit on this rig was $572 for the month, and that's going to be broken down to each of the owners. So what we'll do here, total coins earned right here. So I'm going to copy that amount. We come over here to this part of the spreadsheet, paste in the values, and then boom. So this is what I pay out to each of the owners, right? So this is me, this is owner 1, owner 2, owner 3, owner 3, 4, 5, like that. So this is the amount that they get of BTC. And I did it this way because it was so much easier, man. At first, whenever I first started doing this, I was doing it based on USD value, and it was a disaster because BTC's value would fluctuate before I would get the payouts done, and then I'd have to recalculate everything. So stay in sats, right? So if it's BTC, if you're earning BTC, pay it out in BTC, and it's easier that way, much easier, and it's more accurate and all that stuff. So this is the payout here, and I'll show you basically how that works in a moment once we get to that part. Let's see here. Go back to the other part here. All right, and so now we need to just get it out of the wallet. So I'm going to do withdraw. And then we're going to withdraw it. I'll withdraw it to the Zelcore wallet. This is the block ring. That's the name of our group. Make of that what you will. But this is a group of people, the investors or owners. I don't like saying investors because really that's not really not what it's about. It's just the owners of the GPUs that are hosted here. And we're going to go to BTC, and then we're going to see the previous months and all that stuff. So we'll know that this is the right wallet. Also know because of the address. So we're going to check this just once it over here, and then check that to what the withdrawal address is going to be, which is right here. And that looks good. I'm going to use max. Oh wow, we're going to get hit with a 1214 charge. That sucks. All right, so we're going to withdraw this. I understand. Double check the wallet address just to eyeball it. Looks right. Withdraw. All right, so we'll do a view. Okay. So we'll probably see that hit this wallet over here at some point. Sometimes it does take a while. All right, so that pretty much wraps up Dagobah. So now we need to move over to Mustafar. Mustafar made a little bit more, clearly. All right, so let's go through Mustafar here. We have this total amount mined for the month. So yeah, you can see a little bit of a difference there. 0.001 BTC essentially. I'm going to use the same value. That gets us to 717, which is, if we check that, it's right on, so that's cool. Now we go to power for Mustafar. We'll go to the main PSU first. Energy. So it's 311 at the wall right now, so 228 for the desktop PSU. And then we'll go to server PSU. 649 on that one. Wow, pretty close on the server PSU on both of them. So 877. So that rig costs a little bit more. Again, this rig was off for a couple of days, which this one is, if you look at the history, is typically a little bit more than this one. Consumes a little bit more power on, typically, normally. So this is all making sense. But because it was on for 2 days that this one wasn't, then the profitability was roughly $60, somewhere around almost $60 difference. So we essentially lost $60 worth of profit from those 2 days that it was down. All right, so we got that. So we're going to withdraw to the Zelcore wallet, same wallet, and I just disperse from there to the owners. All right. So let's see. Oh, I was going to show you the devices. So this is the HS110 kit. I always get confused. This is kind of similar to the H110 Pro BTC Plus motherboard. But this is the HS110 kit. It comes with 2 of these TP-Link. It's a CASA, that's like the group. or the model, I guess. Smart Wi-Fi plug. These are the ones that I use. Now, the problem is that these are no longer available. They don't make them anymore. I don't know if maybe the chip shortage is affecting them in some way. I would imagine that that's part of it, maybe. You can find them on eBay occasionally. They typically were, I think they were about $24.95 each, MSRP. And I don't think you can find them for cheaper than that now. I think that they've gone up in price significantly. I remember seeing some for hundreds of dollars, you know, not each, but for two. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't pay. I mean, they're really good. You see how I use them, and they're super nice for the purposes. And not to mention that I've had these. They're technically only rated for 120, but I've had these on 240 for more than a year, and they're fine. Yeah, about a year. Yeah, about a year. So they're fine. They measure the electric. It seems like it's accurate, right? So there's no like funny thing going on if you're pumping 240 into it or through it, or if 240 is being pulled through it, because you got to get that, you know, the proper electric term there. It's not push, it's pull. So or draw. So anyway, yeah, pretty good devices. I like them, and they work really well for what we're doing. And the reason that, you know, I was gonna mention the reason that I do this through NiceHash is you saw how the withdrawal, you know, it's earning BTC, it's not earning Ethereum. BTC is easier to send to the owners, you know, through their Cash App or whatever. It's cheaper that way too, because what I can do here, instead of dispersing straight from Zelcore, I think the way I did it last month was I actually went and transferred it to my, I transferred all the payout to my Cash App and then sent it from there, and I think that it went with 0 fees. I did have to pay the fees to get it off of NiceHash, and then I had to pay a fee to get it off of Zelcore and into Cash App. So maybe what I can do is actually just bypass Zelcore, because the fees over here, it's not Zelcore's fault, it's just how they're connected, seem to be higher than NiceHash. NiceHash is probably paying some of the fees for you. I don't know how all that works, but I would imagine that they take some of it off because, you know, you're using their system. But Zelcore, I don't think, does that. So usually whenever you're sending from over here, it's full price. So dude. I mean, it looks pretty cheap right now, but I don't have any number in here, you know, because I don't have anything over here. But yeah, not too bad. So if it's only $5, then I would probably, maybe I won't do that whole Cash App thing, and I'll just do it from here. But we'll see. And whenever you do it, you know, you got to times 5 different owners, right? So that's another thing. You're paying the fees. In my case, I would be paying the fees 5 times, you know, or the people I'm sending it to are the ones that are actually paying it, because it's coming out of their part. But so if I do it to Cash App and then send it, it seems to be a little bit cheaper. All right, so what do we come to here? We got this. I'm going to take this amount. This was the profit. So we're going to plug that into this one right here. And that's how that'll be paid out. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Another good month. I like to see it. I like to see it. All right, so I'm going to drop over there into the chat, see if anybody's hitting me up over here. What's up, Brandon Coin? What is up, Red Panda? Oh, Brandon Coin, you're having a baby? Awesome, dude. That is great. You and Red Panda. I mean, not together, but you know what I mean. Yeah, do a Amazon, what is that, a registry? Something like that? Yeah, do that. That'll be cool. I did. I noticed you earlier there, Red Panda. I even said your name. Yeah, Dan the Dane caught that too about the multiple transaction fees. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to end up just doing one like I did last time. You know, pulling it off of out of Zelcore. Maybe what I'll do in the future is add my Cash App address here, right, to withdraw to, and then that way I'm just bypassing the Zelcore thing altogether. Although I do like the tracking of it through Zelcore, but I can work around that. That might be a good idea to save a little bit of fees. Yeah, Brandon Coin, those TP-Link things, they're nice. I like them. Smart energy monitoring. Been using them for 4 years now. Haven't had one. I don't think I've ever had one go bad or anything. Knock on wood. Yeah, there you go, Red Panda. 32 3080s. Yeah, I think I might have said 3060. Yeah, 32 3080s. That's insane. I'm just kind of going back through the chat, just making sure that nobody's asking me a question I didn't answer or something. Try to answer. All right, I'm going to get out of here. That's going to do it for me. I think I covered everything. Checking my notes. It looks like I did. I think I'm good. So hopefully, if you thought that this was useful, entertaining, educational in some way, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All that cool stuff. You guys know what to do. Check out dogelord.com for your merch. Serpent X has got some cool new stuff over there. He's got a new logo and whatnot, and got some cool new merch over there. Check out my collection. There's lots of good stuff on there. dogelord.com. Be sure to check that out. It's cool. I've always, whenever I was first getting into crypto, it was hard to find good shirts, t-shirts. You want to have a good shirt, to represent whatever project you were in. Like I've got hear me out. I've got a Loki shirt. I've got an old Raven Coin shirt. I've got old Brandon Coin shirt. Raven Coin, Loki. I got like an Nvidia shirt, an old one. But all this, it was really hard to find, right? I mean, you had to find some random store on like Amazon or something, to get it. And now it's like all in one place. You just go to dogelord.com and you're there. And you probably will find something that you like there. So awesome, Pocket Change. Thanks for ordering that. Very cool. Yeah, cool stuff. And they're good quality. I like them. The ones that are in my collection are all nice so far. I've got this one. I think I've got like 3 other ones. The Bitcoin one, Raven Coin. I got quite a few, but they're all super nice. Pocket Change got 4. You got 4 of them? Wow. I'm actually I'm working on a version 2 of that shirt. So keep that in mind whenever you're buying them. Not that I'm not saying don't buy it, because you can wear all of them all the time. It doesn't really matter. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I mean, you can't wear them all at once, but you can wear one each day. Just kind of switch it up so people don't think that you're wearing the same shirt every day. But you know how that goes. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. I got to talk to Dan the Dane. We got to do the whole giveaway thing. He's wanting to do. He's giving away some. I'm forgetting the name. I want to call it a mini rig. It's not a rig, but a micro miner. If Dan the Dane, if you're in here, what is it? What is the thing? What is that thing called? Anyway, he's going to give away 2 of those, I think, and then maybe some crypto. I'll give away something. It won't be a lot, but it'll be a little bit, and yeah, it'll be fun. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow night. It depends on how much time I have to prepare for a giveaway, because you have to kind of work on things figure out the website and which, like, if we're going to use a video, how it's all going to work. So kind of have to go through that. Compact Miner, that's it. Yeah, check out his channel too, Dan the Dane's channel. He does 3D printing, and that's part of the thing that he's going to give away. It's really cool. It's really neat, really cool. I got to get one from him at some point. Maybe I'll win. Yeah, I need like a little test bench like that. That thing would work out probably perfect for that. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Don't know what the content will be. Maybe it'll be the giveaway. We'll see. All right, guys. Remember, it can all be built on Bitcoin. Stay savage, everybody.